Welcome everyone to this week's video. Today we are on Fish Friday number 111 and we have a good one for you today. Today's fish is heavily sought after in the game fish world. You've definitely have probably, well, I shouldn't say definitely, probably. You've probably heard about this if you're a fisherman, and it's definitely one of those that everyone has on their bucket list. Today's fish that we're going to be talking about is, bam, the muskellunge. So the muskellunge, or scientific name Esox muskellunge, again that's Esox muskellunge. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing this, but that's how I kind of know it. It is part of the family Esocidae, which is a family of pikes. And if you remember, we actually well, not just, but we did a pike already, the northern pike. This is a close relative of that, obviously. It is found in the northeast US and southeast Canada. Primarily, it goes more into the US than Canada. Extends down like midway in the US. Native, I should say. They've been introduced almost everywhere, and in fact, there's numerous places where they're considered invasive. In fact, I believe Georgia is one of those, which is kind of strange. This is definitely a cool water fish. I would not think they would do well in Georgia, but apparently they do very well. I believe. I might be wrong on that range. They're found in very clear waters, or that's what they prefer. Those oligotrophic, mesotrophic lakes, very low nutrient loads, very little, just real clear, crystal clear water is what they really like. And they love a lot of structure. They love vegetation, rock ledges, rock structures, sunken boats. I mean, they really associate with structure. And what's kind of interesting is, in terms of like where you could find these in terms of depth, they actually kind of have like two different home ranges. Especially during the summer months, they have a shallow range, and then they have a deep range. And they're primarily found in the deep, but they'll get up in the shallows to kind of warm up. But they are very mobile. They're always searching for food, always moving around, looking for food. If you know about this fish, you know that it is a large fish, especially for the freshwater world. They're usually about 28 to 48 inches, so about 3 to 4 feet long at max, 71 to 122 centimeters for my non-North American people. And they weigh about 7 to 16.5 kilograms, which is about 15 to 35 pounds. That's your average muskie. However, they can get bigger, and they are loved when they are bigger. I mean, they're amazing. They can grow to very big lakes. In fact, the IGFA, the International Game Fish Association's record, was caught in 1949 in Wisconsin, and it weighed 67 pounds and 8 ounces. That's 30.61 kilograms, and was 60.25 inches, 153.04 centimeters long. This thing was big. It was massive. And it's, in fact, one of the most impressive characteristics on it was its girth. Its girth was 33 to 34 inches in girth, meaning around. Almost 3 feet around. That's about 85 centimeters, by the way. Just like massive, thick tube of muscle. And the thing about it is those kind of fish are not like that uncommon. You commonly see muskies that are caught that are about that 4.5 to 5 feet long fish. Those are trophies, don't get me wrong, but it's not that unheard of. I believe one in 2000 was caught that was just under this IGF record, like 62 pounds or something. I believe so anyway. Anyway, because of the size and the fact that this is a tube of muscle and how they fight, this is a heavily sought after game fish. These things are loved. Like I said, they are a bucket list for people. Bucket fish. Most fishermen want to catch these. They look really fun. If you look at the lures are just massive. Oh, it's definitely on my bucket list. Let me just say that. They do have that predator body just like a pike, you know, this tube of muscle, fins set really far back in the body. In terms of coloration, they got these blotches, kind of stripes, silver. I mean, they don't really have a uniform color. In fact, there's some subspecies in quotations that they call tiger muskies, which are like, I believe tiger muskies are actually a hybrid between muskellunge and northern pike, but they can get all sorts of things. Their fins can get a little redder. I mean, they're red-brown. They got these blotches on them, spots. They're a beautiful fish, but it's hard to actually describe their color. Obviously, they have that duckbill face and head, and the head is unscaled. I mean, it's kind of hard to mistake these. In terms of how to tell muskellunge apart from northern pike is actually to do the sensory pores on each side of the lower jaw, which I could not get a good picture of. But there's on a muskellunge, they have 6 to 9 sensory pores on each side of the lower jaw, whereas northern pike have 5 or less, and that is apparently the best way to tell them apart. Couldn't really find a good picture of that, but if you probably look it up, you can probably do it. As I said, these are an ambush prey. They swallow their food whole, and a lot of that has to do with their teeth. In terms of like teeth, most of the time when fish are piscivorous, they got these kind of thinner teeth. The muskellunge actually has extremely thick canine-looking teeth. I mean, these things are actually pretty damn thick for a fish. Fish are usually more needle-like. This thing can do some damage. It can definitely do some damage. And because of the combination of their body, their size, and their teeth, they're the top predator. They are the top dog in any water body that they go in. Hands down, I cannot think of anything in freshwater besides maybe a bull shark that could do it. Otherwise, it's bigger muskies that are their problem. In terms of what they eat kind of anything. They really are primarily fish. They'll eat all fish, including other muskellunge, just anything. They eat insects, but they will also eat muskrats, rats, mice, frogs, ducks. They can take any prey that's up to 2/3 of their body length because they actually have kind of oversized stomachs as compared to most other fish. They're really large stomachs. Of course, there are the reports, if you've been around. This fish was actually featured on an episode of River Monsters, saying that muskies attacked and killed, some people and some dogs and everything. I can believe maybe a small dog. I don't believe they've killed on purpose people. Not saying it hasn't happened. I think there's a little exaggerated, but they can definitely do some damage. If you stick your hand in this mouth right here, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Something interesting about their size, which is really cool to me, just because nerding out. If you remember with the northern pike, there was actually a formula that you could use to predict their weight based on their length, and it's really insanely accurate. As muskellunge get longer, they get heavier. That's obvious. As they get longer, they get bigger. But it's not a straight line. It's not like a fish gains 1 inch, they gain 1 pound. It's a logarithmic curve, meaning it starts out flat and then it shoots up. So like the longer this fish gets, the heavier it gets, almost exponentially. The weight actually can be decided by weight equals C times L to the B power. Man, I wish I could do. Well, here, let me just show you real quick. We'll go to. By the way, if you look up muskellunge, you're going to just see a lot of men holding muskellunge in their hands, fishing. Kind of hard to find some good pictures of it just in the water. But if you go to the Wikipedia, you can see that it's in this scale. And you can see here, so weight equals CLB. C is a constant. It's I can't remember the exact term for it, but C equals 0.000089 pounds per inch cubed. That's the ratio, and B is 3.325, and B is always close to 3 for all species of fish, and for muskie, that B was found out to be 3.325. So if you have the length of a muskie, you can figure out the weight, and if you have the weight, you can actually figure out the length. It's really neat. If you're a math nerd on it, go to town, because you'll find out that it's really, really accurate. But now for the interesting fact that we're going to end the video, one of the most interesting facts that I found, or that piqued my interest, I could say, in the English language, as we all know is like an awful language to learn, before settling on the name Muskellunge, there have been at least 94 common names applied to this fish. Meaning that this fish was called 94 different things before finally everyone decided to call it Muskellunge. And it has all sorts of nicknames, but they've been called Muskellunge, Muskellunge, Milliganong, Maskinonge, Muskellunge. I mean, if you look at just like, there's 10,000 different ways to spell it. I'm very glad I didn't have to learn all these different names. It's just insane. If you go look up like what was a Muskellunge, you'll just have this list of just, it almost all sounds like Muskellunge, but they're all different spellings, and some of them just don't make any sense. I thought that was hilarious and a true example of the English language kind of failing. But thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you again. If I don't, please be safe. Have a great day. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe if you do. I'd really appreciate it. Hope to see you again. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones.